right. So now, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get back into it. Now, before previous video, I previously just posted is gonna be the Fluffal deck profile with Ford. The guy is absolutely insane with Fluffal and really showed both Rob, myself, pretty much anyone watching this, the true potential, the true strength of the Fluffal deck. And right now, we're gonna go into ahead and go. He's gonna go ahead and explain a little bit more like the combos. He's gonna go ahead and explain his card choices, explain how he go, why Fluff was so good, not just going second, but also going first with the most recent support.
Like it's showing you very competitive against like top decks. You smack the shit out of me when I'm playing my prank kids. Like you and Rob go back and forth. He's playing his prank kids, and like the way you just pilot this deck makes me believe that Fluffal could potentially be a viable rogue, if not tier 2 strategy at this point, but just no one's looking at it right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like when an old deck receives support, you know, it takes somebody to actually really know the deck to really understand how the support's good. Support's really good because it allows their opponent to be afraid of card effects. You know, Fluffal's never had that fear factor before. With Whale popping on their turn and using VFD and all this other stuff. And, you know, you just got to learn how to bait people's stuff out. And Rob actually taught me that more than pretty much anybody. You know, him constantly destroying me. So
I think another thing now with the new support is that the deck can actually go first. Like before, you would just like, as a person playing against the Fluffal deck, like before, I'd just be like, okay, you can start, and I wouldn't really like care. But now that I can actually put up like VFD, Dagda with Scythe, the Kraken or the Whale Pop, and then also with Toad and stuff, the deck is like very interactive going first, which is a big trade off that it didn't have before.
It's really sad before, like I lose by default if I go first. It's kind of awful, yo.
No, it's like before people were playing like Azathoth and like Rusty and Lunalight. If Lunalight went first, they weren't really making a board. But then once they incorporated those cards, they were able to go first and be fine. But the same concept with Fluffal, like that I can just go first and be like, okay. And then you go second, you still just kill them.
Yeah. It's really grown a long way, and I hope we do get more support. I am being very greedy.
Y'all are good. You do not need any more support.
Wait, John, I have like two questions. How come no sheep, and how come no Nightmare Unicorn?
Okay, so here's the thing about sheep, right?
I
feel like okay, so Fight for Sheep was a card that if I attack, your opponent cannot activate card's effects until the end of the damage step. Also, if it's destroyed, it comes back with 800 or more attack. I stopped running sheep because I feel like nowadays in Yu-Gi-Oh, there are so many cards that just don't give a shit, right? It's either I'm gonna lock you out, and that's basically it. And sheep doesn't really give anything to the new Fluffals that can go first. Sheep literally does jack shit. It does absolutely nothing. When it comes to Unicorn, I feel like I already have so many cards that are removal. Cards that don't target. I have a card that doesn't destroy. So when making these decisions, especially with Nightmare Unicorn is just a discard to get rid of something on your opponent's board. I feel like I can already do all of that, you know, with the core support, making it that much more better in synergy with everything else. Plus, there's just no room. Like the only thing I can figure out to cut is one Sabertooth because I don't really use it. So I might cut this and maybe add something that's a little bit more useful. But I don't think Nightmare Unicorn is it either. No.
And no Boral Sword or Axis Code.
Oh, Boral Sword.
I was curious about.
I don't need a Boral Sword. I can kill whenever I want. It's just all about getting through, you know. Yeah, when I was playtesting it on my own, I realized that like most of the time, even with a couple interruptions, I can still play and not need a Boral Sword. And I feel in terms of, again, what Fluffals are trying to do now, going first, locking your opponent out, Appaloosa is just a better card than Boral Sword, right? I have one spot for lane 4, and Appaloosa is just amazing, right? It's just, I have, I have a Scythe, Artifact Scythe, just activated and have an Appaloosa and a Toad. Like, that's pressure if I've ever seen it in Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm not really familiar with access code.
Access code it's secondly better if you play Nightmare Unicorn as well. It's you target one of the monsters used to link summon it, and if it was a link monster, it gains 1,000 per link rating. So if you link it with a link 3, it gains 3,000, link 2, 2,000, a link 1, 1,000. And you banish a few link monsters from your grave, and you pop a card that your opponent controls and it doesn't target, or it targets, but they can't respond.
Does it have to be a link that it banishes?
Yeah, it has to banish a link. So it's like if you have a dark link, a fire link, and an earth link, you go access code, banish the dark, pop a card, banish the fire, pop a card, banish the earth, pop a card. So that's another. It's like another OTK card that can break boards, but it's better if you play Nightmare Unicorn.
Okay.
Which is why I brought up Unicorn before.
I'll definitely think about that because again, I'm not really familiar with all these cards nowadays.
Access code would be broken, but I don't really know what you would take out for it.
Yeah.
But is there any type of like specific combos you want to go over? Anything that, especially with that most recent board you just set up against me, where you summon literally everything.
Well, that board was just most luck because I just drew into like things. I just, when combos come, they come. But I could show you like a 3-card combo, I guess, really quickly.
Yeah.
I guess I'll show you how easy it is.
On board.
I guess I'll show you the best turn 1 plays. I think that's best.
Okay, cool.
That sounds like a good play.
Okay, so this combo can be done with just dog, sheep, and any way to get this card. So let's just say like a patchwork, or if you just hard draw this card. So this is a rather simple combo. So actually, it's just these 2 cards. Chain and dog is 2-card combo. So almost summon dog. Use dog's effect. Search the sheep. A special summon sheep by its own effect. Sheep bounce dog. Special summon chain. I'm gonna link these 2 off. Go in the grave, and then you're gonna get artifact Diaga. Chain's effect will activate, and you're gonna get a for patchwork. Gonna activate patchwork, triggering the effect of the artifact. You're gonna set scythe. And patchwork is going to give you a scythe, a polymerization. From this point, obviously, you're gonna have 3 more cards in your hand that you didn't use to play with. Dog and the other cards in your hand. But with this basic shit allows you to do is your opponent goes, they summon something. You might want to wait until they have 2 monsters on the board to do this. So, impermanence and things like that. But you're going to activate Scythe on their main phase to fusion summon. Yeah, Whale. Whale's effect, pop a card in their field, pop your back row. Scythe's effect, they can't use their extra deck for the rest of the turn. That's just with dog and chain by itself. And they're both 3-of, so I get that pretty often.
Right.
And that's how you get Scythe. One more extremely simple combo, again, dealing with nothing but 3-ofs. Let's once again do dog and chain. Now, it could be any Fluffal monster and any way to get chained, which means fight for patchwork as well. So that's 12 Fluffal monsters, way more than 12, but that's just our first number comes to my head. A Fluffal monster, Edgem chain, and like maybe some way to put in the graveyard. So let's just get a poly to make it short. You have a Fluffal monster, you have a poly, you have an Edgem chain. Right? I'm gonna use poly. I'm gonna fusion summon these 2. I'm gonna get Whale, Chain's effect. And these are all 3-ofs or more in your deck. Activate Fight for Fusion. Banish the same 2 materials. Get another Whale. XYZ into True King. That's it. It's extremely simple. And again, these are just with 2 basic cards that you play 3-of or more in your deck.
Right.
Again, I can do super long combos, but this is just the basics of what you can do in your starting turn.
Mhm.
And yeah,
And if your hand's really good, you do both, which is really crazy.
exactly. You can get Toad out on the board to protect your True King
Right.
on your opponent's turn. There are other combos I just don't remember off the top of my head.
That's funny though, because
Like
like
DDD,
with
there's
a
like
with a deck right now that is getting a lot of hype currently, which is like the virtual world, which really all it does is just make VFD and doesn't allow you to play. Right, that's his main thing, right? Turbos out VFD and has his other synchros, but that's the main target is that his main win condition, right?
Mhm.
And with Fluffles, it can do the exact same thing. If not, it can probably do it a lot easier, as we can see right now.
True King,
no,
right?
he literally just did it with like VF. Like he did it in 3 summons too, so he didn't have to worry about nib,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which was really cool.
Mhm.
And if you play like with the artifact as well and the scythe, that's extra interruption that plays around like ruler droplet.
I'll do one more with again 3Os in my deck. I just remembered it. Yeah, I don't want to do
Give me
combos
the
with just like a
combo.
one of. But this is just Penguin and Goods. Again, you have 3 other cards to work with. So use Foolish Barrel Goods. I'm just gonna do simple stuff. Gonna send a toy vendor. Toy vendor, get Dolphin. This is absolutely broken when I first realized this. Almost summon Penguin, Penguin effect, get Dolphin, Dolphin's effect, set toy vendor. Wings in the graveyard. Overlay. Bahamut Shark. Now, in this case, because you play more penguins than dolphin, you're gonna get one banished. I'm gonna send the penguin. Get Toad. Now you have 2 Fluffals in the graveyard. You're gonna flip up Toy Vendor. You can use the effect if you want with the other cards in your hand. You're gonna banish Wings. You're gonna banish Penguin. You're gonna draw a card. You're gonna pop Toy Vendor. You're gonna draw another card. And Toy Vendor's effect goes off. Again, you can summon you get any card you might need. In this case, I'm gonna get a Scythe. So you obviously have 4 cards because of your opening hand. You have 2 cards you just drew. You have a search, any Fluff or Edgem Sabers. Let's just go, I don't know. Let's just go Bear. Do whatever. So you see what I mean? You drew 2 cards off of something that's insanely simple. You drew 2, you searched 1, you got your Toad, you got the Shark. Still the 2 cards remaining, 2 cards drawn, 1 card searched. This deck is insane, and I don't understand why people really aren't looking at the versatility of this deck. You know? At any point they could have asked you or interrupted you, you still had 2 other cards in your hand to play with.
I think that's what's so nuts about this, that when playing against you, yeah, I saw this deck play through 3, 4 interruptions in the same turn, even 2 battle butlers in the same turn. You still were able to go ahead and play through it because of the combos of the Fluffle deck only take 2 to 3 cards, which means in your opening hand you're guaranteed pretty much to have 2 to 3 combos already just by drawing your starting hand, which is absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you add into mix, there's a Rhoda, or you have 6 Rhodas with Dog and Foolish Barrel gets Toy Vendor just getting you another card because you're getting whatever you want for free.
Right.
Yeah,
like it's actually insane.
I think it kind of got the spiral treatment, right? Where, they gave them such little support where it didn't matter until the point where they got broken support. Then suddenly everything mattered. Now you have a whole toolbox of things that can do things now. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why spirals are so broken.
Word.
Spirals are broken because you stack them, and sleeper is nuts.
Word.
You stack them and you sleeper them, dude.
You stack and sleep.
Stack and sleep.
You stack
Quick
and
fix
sleep.
does everything for the deck. That's it. Anyway,
all right, but yeah.
That was an awesome deck profile, John. Ford Fusion himself, master of the Fluffle, has been playing this deck Fluffle God since I first met him back in 2017. So thank you so much, Lord of Fusion. All All right, but thanks you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and leave a like down below. Go ahead and subscribe. If you want to see Ford on the channel a little bit more, I want to see some of our remote duels to see how the deck completely obliterates the meta. By all means, Rob and I will make sure that we build the proper decks ready, and he will Ford will go ahead and wipe the floor with both of us most likely. But go ahead and let me know if that's something that you do want to see, and I'll see you on the next one.